this heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
Easy, easy, easy.
You want to drive or can I drive?
Well, hello, sexy monkeys. Welcome back to SkyGeneYouTube Experience. I'm Ben. I just got done watching Ambulance. Yes, it came out a few months ago, but I just didn't get around to it. But I did now. And I'm very pissed off I didn't watch it in theaters because this was actually better than I thought it was going to be. Just because I've heard the reviews, this and that, and a lot of people weren't like giving it that much credit, but I give it some credit. It's a solid movie, especially Michael Bay. You 100% get the Michael Bay effect. You have your car chase, you got your shootouts, you got your helicopters stunts, your explosions. You have that Transformers vibe in there too. When the sound effects, the sound editing, the editing itself, the camera is cut like fast-paced cuts. Love this shit. And like I said, the humor, you get your Michael Bay humor in this. So everything you've seen in a Michael Bay movie, you're gonna get in this. And it looks great. It really fucking does. And the fact that it takes place in LA, it goes around LA, I am so down for that. It reminds me of Heat and The Town with Ben Affleck. It reminds me of those movies mixed together. But I really enjoyed this movie. I was really surprised. It was one of those where as soon as it started, I just could not let up. Essentially, without giving much away, you have these two brothers. One's a veteran bank robber. He robbed 37 banks, and his father was a huge bank robber, and his father killed cops. So they have that, style where they'll kill a cop if they need to kill a cop. But then there's also the other brother, ex-vet, military, and he's jobless. He needs money for his wife's surgery, so he's desperate for money. So his one brother takes advantage of that and tells him, hey, we're going to do this job. We're going to get a lot of fucking money, and then we're going to arrive at sunset. And as you know in typical movies, when it comes to robbing something, it never works out the way it works out. And throughout this whole movie, it reminds me of Speed, when they're on the bus and they're just being, they can't stop and they're just constantly going. It's one of those movies. It's a constant ride, but it does not let up. It does not let up. It's a very great, tense movie, and I fucking enjoyed this movie, and it's totally rewatchable. I can watch it again instantly. Really, it was that good of a movie. I'm not giving it like a home run, but it was a solid triple. It was, and there's a million reasons why I love this movie. Mainly because I enjoy Michael Bay. It's a great dad movie, action flick. You get little everything you want, and you got all the LAPD, SWAT. It's pretty dope. I knew within 5 minutes of watching this, it's going to be great. Because when they do the intro in Act 1 of getting all the characters' introduction, the way they did that storytelling, when you get a good introduction to a character, not one, but every single main character, you just know that this story is well written and the script is well written and it's going to be thought out. And it was. All the way up to the end. Maybe the ending was a little quick, in my opinion, but it's realistic. So I can 100% go with how this movie started, because the whole time it was realistic. It wasn't one of those movies like, oh, there's no way they could have done that. The way they did in this movie is possible. Unlikely, but possible. In my opinion, though, the main character is the paramedic. She fucking hit a home run. Home run, dude. What's her name? God damn it. Pretty sure it's Eiza Gonzalez. Yeah, I probably fucked that first name up. But she was on the sequel, not the sequel, Godzilla vs. King Kong. I only said sequel because the sequel was just announced the other day. She was on Godzilla vs. King Kong. She was the daughter of the villain, so to speak. When they went to Kong's lair and they try to abstract the energy and then she gets squished by the hand, that's her. She was also in Morbius, and I thought she did pretty good in that movie, to be honest. But out of Godzilla vs. King Kong, Morbius, and this, I think Gonzalez, this was her best acting. She did a lot of screen time, a lot of dialogue, and as a paramedic, I worked in the hospital as security for 2 years. I understand some lingo of paramedics because I'm around them a lot back then. So the way she was talking, it was like she knew her shit. So that was really a surprise. She has a bright future in this world. I was really glad that it was over 2 hours long. Not not like crazy 2 hours long, but it's like just a hair over 2 hours long, which is great because these movies you can't do them that quick. You gotta give time for the character introduction. You gotta get the tense, scenes built up, and then you gotta sustain that, all the way through, and you gotta have it somewhat decently long movie, and they did. It wasn't too long, wasn't too short. Perfect timing on this. And one thing I really took away from this was Michael Bay. He's in love with drone footage. So in this, you have, I would say, 15% of the movie was drone footage. It was all these crazy different angles, dude. And I did enjoy it, but I thought you might have done it just a hair bit too much. It was a little too much drone footage. But the ones you did have, they were pretty dope. Pretty dope. If you're a Michael Bay fan, you're going to enjoy this because they do Easter eggs. They talk about his other movies, and you can also like watch this movie like, okay, that's a nod to that movie. I'll give you an example like Armageddon. Not Armageddon. Yeah, Armageddon. No. The Rock. That's what it was. They were talking about The Rock and another couple of movies. I won't say what. I'll let you guys enjoy that Easter egg hunt. At the very end of this movie, it was emotional. There was one time where I almost started tearing up. I almost did at one point, but overall, this movie was solid as fuck. I gave it a 7 out of 10 for a SkyGene score. That's how... It was a solid Michael Bay movie. If I do a top 10 Michael Bay movies, it's going to be in the top 10. Not near the top, but it's in the top 10 Michael Bay movies that he directed. Solid. If you want an action flick, you want your shootouts, your driving, there's a lot of car driving in this. So like Bad Boys. It's definitely a mix of Bad Boys, a little bit of Transformers. It's solid, trust me on this, guys. It's just don't go into thinking you're gonna get your mind blown, but it's not bad at all. I highly recommend this movie if you're into those Michael Bay action flick movies. So do not let people stray you away from this movie. You're gonna enjoy it. Alright, sexy monkeys. I'll see y'all later.